AITA for telling my in-laws exactly where my husband was when I was in labor? I gave birth to my son 10 weeks ago. I went through exhausting period while I was nearing my due date. I was experiencing discomfort and wanted my husband by my side when I go into labor, but he'd go out every night to hang out at his friend's place and watch football games. I suggested that he watch games at home just in case, but he was having none of it and said he had to attend game night at his brother and friend's place along with his buddies. He said they had certain, how can I describe it, rituals when watching a game, and he can't enjoy doing it at home or anywhere else. The night of our son's birth, my water broke while my husband was at his buddy's place watching a game. I called him and told him to get home and take me to the hospital. He said he was coming, but he didn't. I ended up calling my sister. She lives nearby, and she took me to the hospital. My husband showed up 2 hours later after he kept calling asking if I was still in labor and that he was almost done watching the game. He was able to make it on time for our son's birth, but I was furious with him. Mad and disappointed. He apologized profoundly and has been working on regaining my trust and respect for him after what he's done. He's otherwise very supportive and involved in our son's care. Last night I was at my in-laws' house for dinner and we were talking about my son's birth date. My husband suddenly started recalling what happened that night and basically started lying about driving me to the hospital. Waiting and feeling stressed out and standing on his feet for so long without food or even water. I was confused. I said no. None of this was true. None of this happened. In fact, he was watching a game when I went into labor and I wanted him to drive me to the hospital but didn't show up till 2 hours later. My mother-in-law, who takes no shit from anybody and whom everyone fears, lost it on him, yelling, asking him if that was true, and he kept quiet. She started berating him left and right, telling him to sit down and shut up when he stood up to argue, then told him to stand up when he was sitting arguing. Everyone was laughing at how she basically treated him as if he was a boy in trouble. She kept saying, "Shame, shame, shame on you. This is not how I raised my children to treat their wives. Jordan, you are a disgrace and I'm disappointed because of what I heard about you." He literally swallowed every bit of his mother's berating and didn't say anything till we got home, where he went nuts saying I made him look neglectful, a bad husband and father, by telling the family about where he was, and said I shouldn't have said anything, but I argued it wasn't okay for him to lie and play hero in front of his parents. He said I just caused a rift between him and family and asked if I was happy now. AITA? Should I have not said anything? Edit to say that he's done similar things in the past since he's a major enthusiast of football and hockey, but I didn't expect it to get to that. Also, this is not our first baby together. We have a 4-year-old son. NTA. I'm in disbelief about his behavior. I can't imagine how upset I'd be if I was in your shoes. I think outing him was well warranted, especially once he started blatantly lying. He is a man with zero honor, and he seems to lack a lot of respect for you. You don't deserve to be disregarded that way. NTA. Your husband thought a football game was more important than you being in labor. He looked like a neglectful husband and father because he was being neglectful. If he wants people to think better of him, then he should change his behavior. Yelling at you shows he's not sorry and would rather blame you than accept the consequences of his actions. NTA. I think I love your mill. NTA. You said that he's working on regaining your trust, but by lying about his refusal to be there for you, he took a major step back in his attempt to be more trustworthy. Your mill is awesome though. Your husband got exactly what he deserved. NTA lying about what he did in public undoes all of the apologizing he did in private. He is not taking full responsibility for his actions. Wow. Just wow. NTA. Husband is absolutely 100% an off for 1 not driving his wife to the hospital when she went into labor, 2 waiting until the game was over to get to the hospital, 3 lying about it to his family. This would honestly make me question divorce. This is bad. At the very least, marriage counseling would be a must. NTA. He's mad because he got caught by mommy being a bad husband. Good on you for calling him out. NTA. I have a favorite quote for situations like this. You own everything that happened to you. Tell your stories. If people wanted you to write warmly about them, they should have behaved better. Anne Lamott. NTA. You did nothing wrong. His mother was right to scold him as she did. NTA. If he didn't want to look like a bad husband, he shouldn't have been a bad husband. Go Mill for not taking any shit from him. You're never too old to be yelled at by mommy if you're being a dick. I hope she made him sit and face the wall for 20 minutes to think about his actions. NTA. F that S. He was not there for you when you needed him and then lies about it? Does he think you're stupid? What a moron. Bless his heart. Lolalol. NTA. But your husband as X1000. Not going to the hospital until the game was over? Outright lying about his involvement in taking you to the hospital and waiting? He has serious problems, so do you. If he can easily lie about that, what else is he lying about? If this is a pattern, and you should think about it in retrospect, then you might consider counseling first. NTA. You have every right to tell your birth story the way it truly happened. He shouldn't have told such an outrageous lie in the first place. Your husband looks like a shitty husband and father because he prioritized a game over his wife and baby. Not because of anything you did. This is all on him. NTA. Didn't want to look bad. Shouldn't have done bad. NTA. He is lucky you aren't divorcing him. I would have. What he did was despicable. His mother is my freaking hero. Good for her for not condoning his behavior and holding him accountable. NTA. How did he think he was going to get away with this? He was at his brother's house watching the game? It was going to come out sooner or later. It was good you immediately set the situation straight, or his parents would have wondered why you covered for him. It would have made you look dishonest. He screwed up big time and should be 100% focused on regaining your trust. NTA. That is a major red flag. That your husband values game night over his wife and child and proceeds to lie about it to his family. I think though the berating was harsh. He had it coming. Anyway, congrats on the child op. NTA. And aside from the disrespect and neglect while you were in labor, I'd be extremely worried about what else he's lying about. He felt comfortable lying right to his own mother's face. What has he been lying to you about? NTA. He is just mad he got caught in a lie. If he didn't want to look like a bad husband, he shouldn't have been a bad husband then. And especially shouldn't have doubled down on lying about what he did. Good for you for calling him out. If he's going to act like a child, he can be treated like one. NTA.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.